Hi there. It's January 18th and time for Proverbs 18. Let's go over here. We'll begin deep in the Proverbs, Now this verse right here, it's interesting because I have looked it up in, probably 8 different versions. And most of them agree with this, okay? Whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire and breaks out against all sound judgment. Okay? Now, I don't speak Hebrew. I kind of wish I did. That'd be fun. But I'll have to look it up in the actual Hebrew. But in the 1599 Geneva Bible, which is a direct translation from the Hebrew, from 1599. Right? Okay, the other verses, and I have a parallel Bible here that's got 4 different versions in it. Okay, you see the New Living, New International, New King James, and the King James version, and they all say basically the same thing as this one here does. Whoever isolates himself or a recluse is selfish and breaks out against all sound judgment. But in the 1599 Geneva Bible, it says, "For the desire thereof he will separate himself to seek it and occupy himself in all wisdom." And there's even a footnote here about separating himself. "He that loveth wisdom will separate himself from all impediments and give himself wholly to seek it." Okay, now that's a very positive thing, okay? And sometimes you should isolate yourself and get deep into the Word and prayer. So, which is it? Okay, like I said, there's 6 other versions that agree with this one. You're okay. Like the New International says, "An unfriendly man pursues selfish ends and defies all sound judgment." Mm-hmm. New King James says, "A man who isolates himself seeks his own desire. He rages against all wise judgment." Hmm? So you decide, all right? I kind of like this one over here. Okay. I mean, once you're retired, you spend a lot of time alone. Okay. You just do, you know. But we'll leave that go for now. Okay. Verse 2. "A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion." You know anybody like this? I'm sure you do. Everybody knows somebody like that, right? Only want to tell you what they think, right? And they don't want to understand anything. Think they know it all. That's pride and arrogance. God hates that, by the way. Or he finds it an abomination. I don't know if God's capable of, well, yeah, he hates lying. It says that. 3, "When wickedness comes, contempt comes also, and with dishonor comes disgrace." This just says when, not if. Contempt is over here, meaning such as one contemneth all others. That didn't help, did it? "When wickedness comes, contempt comes also, and with dishonor comes disgrace. For the words of a man's mouth are deep waters. The fountain of wisdom is a bubbling brook." Right? And there's a note over here on that I thought was interesting. Okay? "Which can never be drawn empty, but bring ever profit." Right? Are deep waters. Okay? That means that you can't drain it dry because they are deep waters. Okay? Fountain of wisdom is a bubbling brook, which cannot be dried out either. Right? 5, "It is not good to be partial to the wicked, or to deprive the righteous of justice." Right? It said something similar to this in a couple of chapters ago. And they seem to be doing that right now all over the world. Okay? All over the world. Partial to the wicked. Lift the face of. It says, "Accept the person of the wicked" over here. That's to favor him and support him, right? To cause the righteous to fall in judgment. Okay? Now, what are they doing over across the pond right now, we'll say, right? There's horrible things going on, okay? I mean, there's gangs of people doing things to children that are absolutely unholy. And the parliament is overlooking it. Now, we don't see anything, right? And it's open, right? Being partial to the wicked. Okay, verse 6, a fool's lips walk into a fight, and his mouth invites a beating. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and his lips are a snare to his soul. There you go. Both of those kind of go together, right? What does this tell you? Right? Keep your mouth shut, right? Just keep your mouth shut. You go shooting your mouth off, somebody's going to punch you most times. Okay, this one's important. The words of a whisperer are like delicious morsels that go down into the inner parts of the body. I was talking about this yesterday when we were talking about gossip, right? This is gossip. That's what a whisperer is. It's like a drug. It gets down into the deepest parts of your body, and you got to have more. That's why reality television, TV, and the internet and social media is so popular, because gossip is like a drug, okay? The Lord hates gossip. It separates friends. It separates everybody. It causes dissension. So there you go. 9, whoever is slack in his work is a brother to him who destroys. If you're lazy, you might as well be breaking something. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous man runs into it and is safe. There's the word righteous again, right? I'm going to put all these righteous together in one list. 11, a rich man's wealth is his strong city, and like a high wall in his imagination. And we read a version of this yesterday too, right? People who think they're rich, they put themselves up on a pedestal thinking they're better than everybody else, okay? In their imagination. 12, before destruction, a man's heart is haughty, but humility comes before honor. Okay, haughty, prideful, arrogant, conceited, okay? Any of those words will fit there, right? Humility comes before honor. If you want to be truly honored, you must be humble and let other people build you up, okay? Not yourself. If you build yourself up, that's pride and arrogance, right? Nobody wants to listen to that, okay? Here's more of the arguing from chapter 15. If one gives an answer before he hears, it is his folly and shame, foolishness and shame, okay? Now this is directly ties in with James 1, 19, I think it was, right? Be quick to listen, slow to speak, right? Slow to anger, right? And we touched on the same thing. If you're having an argument, a disagreement with somebody, a lot of people, somebody is trying to get their point across, and you will cut them off and start, right, yelling at them without even listening to what they said, okay? Without listening to... You need to let them finish and then formulate the answer in your head after you have completely listened to them, not formulating an answer while they're talking, because that's just going to get you in trouble, right? It's your foolishness and shame, right? That's important. If one gives an answer before he hears, it is his foolishness or folly and shame. That's important. A man's spirit will endure sickness, but a crushed spirit who can bear? We talked about this too, another one. If you crush a person's spirit, God can fix it, okay? But it's hard to fix a crushed spirit, okay? Many homeless people are down there because they have a crushed spirit, okay? The human spirit is very strong, just like the Holy Spirit is very strong, okay? The human spirit, we're created in God's image, okay? Body, soul, spirit, you know. He has Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Spirit. 15, an intelligent heart acquires knowledge, but the ears of the wise seek knowledge. Do you seek knowledge? That's what we're doing right here, okay? 16, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before the great. This is bribes, okay? Bribes, gifts, okay? Bring a gift. If you want to get to the front of the line, bring somebody a gift, okay? Because people love getting gifts. They do. Okay. The one who states his case first seems right until the other comes and examines him. An important part of court, right? Just about, in courts in America, the accuser, right, always gets to talk first, okay? Because that's just the rule. The accuser goes first, the defense goes last. The defense gets the last word, okay? Even when it's all over, ready to go to the jury, the defense gets the last word, right? And the accuser will come into the court, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Bob here murdered a man, ran over him with his car on April the 8th of 2013. And we are going to prove this, right? And everybody, and the judge going, ooh, we ran over a man with his car. And then the defense gets, until the other comes and examines him or cross-examines him, and he says, my client Bob did not do this. Right? He says, my client Bob was in another state at the time on April 8th, 2013. He was on the other side of the country in his car. We have photos, we have pictures, we have camera shots of him there on those dates. So he could not have done this. And suddenly, they're like, oh, he couldn't have done it. So, right. The one who states his case first seems right until the other comes and examines him. Right? Witnesses. 18, the lot puts an end to quarrels and decides between two powerful contenders. Right? They used to cast lots. What do they do now? They flip a coin. Football team with all these big hulking monsters, right? What decides what they do? Usually a little quarter, flip it, and they take that as gospel. Okay, it's heads, that's what it is. Okay? Little things have great power, right? 19, a brother offended is more unyielding than a strong city, and quarreling is like the bars of a castle. Right? If you offend your brother, like saying something stupid just to be funny, or spread gossip about him, you will not win him back, okay? That's hard to do. More unyielding than a strong city, and trying to argue with him is like the bars of a castle. You are not going to get anywhere, right? Because you offended him. Think very carefully about the words you say. That's why I constantly say over and over again, if you only say kind, uplifting, edifying things, if that's all that comes out of your mouth, you will never have to worry about offending a brother. Right? Okay, 20. Goes along the same subject. From the fruit of a man's mouth, his stomach is satisfied. He is satisfied by the yield of his lips. Right? And we'll put these two together. From the fruit of a man's mouth, his stomach is satisfied. He is satisfied by the yield of his lips. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. Got that? Say kind things. Say only kind things, okay? Never say derogatory stuff or some bad about something, And someone says, this guy is such and such and so, and you can go, yeah, but you know what? He's the nicest person I've ever met, okay? Just kind things. In all circumstances, say only the positive, the kind things. The fruit of your mouth will come back to you, okay? Those who love it will eat its fruits. That's important. Okay. That's a good one. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Okay, it's very important here, okay? In 22, a wife, okay? He that is joined with a virtuous woman in marriage is blessed of the Lord. What does it not say here? It does not say girlfriend. It does not say lover. It does not say casual acquaintance. It says wife, okay? He who finds a wife. Ladies, most husbands are looking for a wife, not a girlfriend or a lover. I'm talking about upright, righteous, God-fearing man is looking for a wife. What's the difference between a wife and a girlfriend? Girlfriends are very surface-oriented, okay? Does he drive a nice car? Does he make lots of money? Is he over 6 foot tall? All right. Will my girlfriends be impressed when I'm walking down the street with him? Okay. A wife looks at your heart, and a husband looks at a woman's heart. Is he a good man? Does he love the Lord? Right? Is he a hardworking? Will he protect me and nurture me and keep me secure in all circumstances? Right? And I will love him in all circumstances, no matter whether he's good looking or tall or short or what kind of car he drives. That's a wife, okay? He who finds a wife finds a good thing, okay? Look for a wife and obtains favor from the Lord. I got that? God will bless that. 23, the poor use entreaties, but the rich answer roughly. The poor speaketh with prayers, and the rich answer roughly. Entreaties. The poor use rich answer roughly. Yeah. All right. It says in here, if you get too rich, you'll forget who the Lord is. Okay? And that's true. 24, a man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. What did we read yesterday? A brother is born for times of adversity. Right? Man that hath friends. They're talking friends, not the kind of companion that pops into your head, but just friends. Guy that hangs around with lots of guys and lots of dudes, okay? Man that hath friends ought to show himself friendly, for a friend is nearer than a brother. That is oftentimes such are found which are more ready to do pleasure than he that is more bound to duty, right? One's closer than a brother will stick with you, okay? The rest of them, they just want to party. Just want to party. Yeah, that's true. There's always a friend, right? In your group of friends, there's always a friend that will stick by you no matter what. Okay? And you can all think of who that is, right? So there you go. That's Proverbs 18. We'll go over our highlights here. Only one righteous we find in here. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous man runs to it and is safe, right? If you're righteous, you will run to the Lord whenever you have any issues. Okay. Highlighted one because it's whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire and breaks out against all sound judgment. How do you feel about that? I think it's a bad thing to isolate yourself. I mean, Jesus says go into your prayer closet where nobody's around when you want to pray and talk to the Lord. So there are obviously exceptions to this, okay? I think they're talking about one who, like a hermit, okay, a recluse who's always by himself and never has any contact with the outside world. There are people like that. They call them agoraphobics or something like that. I'm not up on all my phobics terminology. So. But in the Geneva Bible, all the other ones say it's bad thing. In the Geneva Bible, it says, for the desire thereof, he will separate himself to seek and occupy himself in all wisdom. Right? He that loveth wisdom will separate himself from all impediments and give himself wholly to seek it. Right? I come down here in my basement, or I have a small studio, and nobody else comes down here and bothers me, and I can put all of my attention into studying the Bible, and that's what I do. I don't stay down here all the time, okay? I'm down here a lot because I'm retired, but I don't stay down here all the time. Okay, 6 and 7. A fool's lips walk into a fight, and his mouth invites a beating. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and his lips are a snare to his soul, right? If you shoot up your mouth, somebody's going to punch you sooner or later, right? If you keep, saying stupid stuff, somebody's going to punch you. It happens all the time. There's all kinds of videos on the internet of that. People getting punched for saying something stupid. Right? Okay, 8, very important. The words of a whisperer are like delicious morsels that go down into the inner parts of the body. Gossip goes into the inner parts of the body. So the talebearer are as flattering as they go down into the bowels of the belly. The bowels. They're soon delivered and enter most deeply. Right. You need to get away from gossip. It is a drug, okay? And that means when you're looking at stuff on social media and you see somebody that says something stupid and I'm going to comment and tell him he's wrong, and you're starting an argument, okay? And it's not what you're doing is not wrong, but you're reading other people's stuff, okay? And by reading other people, getting into I'm going to read every single one of these 200 comments, okay? That's gossip, okay? That's a form of gossip. Just keep scrolling, okay? Just keep scrolling. If it has nothing to do with you, just keep scrolling, okay? This guy feels this way. That's too bad. I'll share a prayer for him, right? But yeah, and it's $1 billion industry, okay? Gossip is $1 billion industry. Okay, 10 we highlighted, and we already went over that. The righteous man who runs to God and is safe. 13, if one gives an answer before he hears, it is his folly and shame. Right? To say in James, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Right? Listen first. If somebody's talking, listen. Don't be formulating an answer in your head. Listen. If you cut them off an answer, it is to your own folly and shame. Okay, 17's highlighted. The one who states his case first seems right until the other comes and examines or cross-examines him, right? And we talked about that. Right? The prosecution always has to go first. The accuser has to go first, right? So the other can have a chance to defend themselves. 20 and 21, that's important stuff. My motto lately is to say kind things, right? From the fruit of a man's mouth, his stomach is satisfied. He is satisfied by the yield of his lips, by what you say. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. Okay? You have the power of life in your tongue, okay? You also have the power of death. You can destroy somebody with words, and they will never recover, okay? Say only kind things. If you have to walk away and not say anything, then do that. But say only kind things. All right? Always think of kind things to say. Important. Let that sink deep, right? And we talked about 22. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord, right? You notice a wife loves her husband. She doesn't care if he's tall or short, fat or thin. Doesn't care what kind of car he drives, right? He nurtures her. He makes her feel safe, right? Makes her feel secure, right? And she loves him. That's what a wife is. Not a girlfriend, not a lover. A wife. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing. Oh. There you go. That's Proverbs 18. Lots of good stuff in there. And we'll keep doing this. We'll check where we are in our afternoon version here. Whoops. Reading plans. I think we're on Matthew 12. Second part of Matthew 12. So there you go. That's Proverbs 18 for January 18th. Exciting weekend, right? 2 more days and the world may change. But till later, we'll do it again. Give us a like if you think about it. And thanks for joining me on these. See you next time.